IELTS Booster Discover 4. Hey. Hello.
Hello,
Can you introduce yourself, please?
my name is Linh. I am 12 years old and I'm currently studying a class Discover 4A CEC 1.
Okay. Where do you go to school generally during the weekdays?
I go to Lala Secondary School.
Okay. What's your favourite subject in secondary school?
My favorite subject is English
Why do you enjoy learning English?
because I have learned English since I was small and I also watch a lot of videos and read books about that is written or spoken in English. So I'm quite influenced about the English culture.
Okay. What interests you the most about English culture?
I think it is their attitude in public because raised in Vietnam, I see that when I go outside, then some people they are very rude, but when I see videos about English culture, then I see that they're polite and their streets are very clean.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Okay. So this test is going to come in 3 different parts. The first part is going to be me asking you some questions about a chosen subject. The second one will include some note taking and you talking about a chosen subject. And the third one will be like having a brief discussion to all intents and purposes. So the first part is about being patient. What do you do while you're waiting for something?
Well, normally, if I don't have anything to spend my time with, like reading books, then maybe I will just wait, wait sometimes, have a little song, and think about problems at class, and sometimes just little random thoughts that ran through my mind.
Why do you kind of fidget, or why do you have these thoughts, or why do you think when you're kind of waiting?
Well, maybe it's because I don't have anything to do, and suddenly my brain just reminds me of all the embarrassing things or silly things that I've done before.
Okay. Good. Have you ever lost your patience with something, or while you've been waiting?
Well, actually, yes. So once I was waiting for the bus, and it has been more than 1 hour, I was very angry, and when I left to walk home, then the bus just ran right through me, and that was like the last straw. I was so angry.
So what really made you lose your patience? Was it just the fact that you had to wait, or was it?
Not only because I have to wait, but it was also pouring rain, and the bus stop from the opposite of the road, there are like so many buses have went through there, and my bus will not just come. And right as when I left, then it came.
Okay, that's good. That's a typical scenario. So, would you generally describe yourself as a patient or impatient person?
Well, actually, if it was before secondary school, then I would say I'm quite a hot-tempered person.
Okay.
But I think that learning in the new environment makes me more patient. But still, generally, I'm still very impatient.
Okay. Why do you feel like you're still impatient? Why do you think there's still an element of that there?
First, because it is my born personality. I was born with it. And second, I think that I don't have enough patience to do things. Like I always think that I don't have enough time, and I just kind of got mad at things, and I just can't wait for a long time.
Okay. Let's talk about your fellow countrymen.
Okay.
People in Vietnam, do you think they're an impatient or patient race of people?
Well, actually, every person is different, but when we talk about Vietnam, then around where I was raised, people are actually quite impatient. So if someone has to wait for long, then maybe at a shop. So once I went to KFC, and a woman, she had to wait for only like 15 minutes, and she already shouted and said, "Where is my food? Why so long? I've been here early." And I've seen a lot of situations. It's different details with the same scenario. So I would say that the majority of Vietnamese are impatient.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Okay, so let's move on to the second part of the test. So the second part of the test is going to involve a little bit of note taking. So this is yours if you want it. Okay. So this is about an interesting old object that your family has. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to describe this interesting object, and I need you to include a few things. I need you to tell me what it is, where it came from, how long it's been in your family, or how long your family has kept it, and explain to me why your family find it interesting. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do some notes. Do you understand?
Okay.
Okay, your time starts now. Okay, you've got about 10 seconds left. Excellent stuff. So, what can you tell me about this old interesting object?
So this old interesting object, it is a plastic bracelet.
Okay.
And do you know those bracelets that are made of plastic pearls?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are so widely.
Mm.
And it is very old, but it's interesting because so when my mother was a kid, because Vietnamese people after the war, they would have big gardens, not like small apartments. So one day my mother and her sisters, they were playing, just digging a hole, and then they found a time capsule.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and they asked my grandmother, and yes, it was the grandmother's time capsule, and she says, and the sisters, they can keep what it's in it. So my two aunts, they kept, I don't remember something, but I remember my mom told me that she had chosen the bracelet. So when she chose it, it was already very dark. Not quite as it was, but she really liked it, and she wore it, and she even wore it, in a wedding.
Oh, okay.
So now we still keep it, and my father also thinks that this is an interesting object. So we have kept it for a really long time. If you want to say it's kept with my mom, then it must have been like more than 40 years.
Wow.
But with my family, it's about 12 years. That's when my parents got married.
Okay. Good. Excellent stuff. Lovely. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the next part of the test. So this is tying in a little bit with what we've spoken about already. So we're talking about history. Why do you think people hold on to things that remind them of the past?
I think that nowadays things are moving faster, and sometimes we just forget about the old happy memories. Maybe it will give us the visual to remind us of what had happened, and also talking about financial problems. And antiques, they are expensive, so maybe if we're broke, we can just sell our family things that have been passed on for generations.
Okay. Can you suggest to me whether all historic buildings should be kept?
sorry, can you say it again?
Of course. Do you think that all historic buildings should be kept?
Well, first, it will depend on the state
Okay.
of the building, and also the importance of the building. So maybe if it is an important building where important thing happens, like maybe the birth of some famous celebrity or people, then I think it should be kept and also be opened to the visitors.
Okay.
But if maybe old buildings that are so badly ruined that you can't enter, and it is just one of those buildings you see everywhere on the street in the old times, and I don't think it should be kept because the population is increasing. So in order to make more homes for the families, then we have to have more space. So destroying those old buildings that don't really need for culture and financial problems, then it would save more space.
Okay. Can you tell me whether you consider objects made in the past are better than modern ones?
Well, actually, not all of them, because in the past, technology has not really developed as much today. But there are some things that are better because in old times, because technology has not developed, so the handmade. Right now, it's just kind of robotic. Everything is the same. And growing up, I was kind of like haunted with the "Made in China" tag. If I see a toy that is written "Made in China" or anything, and I was thinking like, oh, this is bad.
Okay, good. So let's carry on with the next bit. So we've got a few more questions, and this is about museums. The first one is, describe the types of museums that you know are in Vietnam.
First, about natural, then there is the, I don't know how to put this, the ocean life, marine.
Okay, yeah.
I visited once, it was in Vietnam. And then we have just, like, it's also the nature, but it's on land.
Okay.
Like trees and animals and stuff. I think the most popular is the historic museums. So maybe we have 2 or 3. Oh, that's what I visited. Museums about Ho Chi Minh. Then there's the whole museum that I visited in CC summer camp. It is about it's also about the Vietnam during war, especially something that relates to the Trường Sơn Mountain.
Okay.
And art and music.
Okay. Good. Excellent stuff. So let's talk about are museums the best way of teaching people about the past?
Well, maybe depends on type of museums. Some museums just display the things and don't explain about it. But I think the museums that both display the objects and tell us about what had happened and how did this begin, then it would be better. But I think that along with that, we should also have knowledge to ourselves and knowledge that we search. We read books or we search on Google, so we will get to know it more.
Okay. How would you attract more tourists to museums? What do you think is the best way that museums could attract more tourists to?
First, I think that they should have a highlight. Maybe each museum has a special, not like a feature, a personal feature. And next, we have to make it sound more interesting. This is about advertising. So along with the interesting things that we have to make it sound more interesting.
Okay, good, excellent stuff. Okay, and that concludes the video.